This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
What up, though? Welcome to our new series, Nemt Coach's Corner. You're rocking with your host, Dante, the homeschool dad. And I got a good video for you today. I got an amazing video for you today. We're talking about how to start your Nemt business in South Carolina. What up, though, Charleston? What up, though, Columbia? What up, though, Mount Pleasant? What up, though, Sumter, Hilton Head Island, all the metropolitan areas in South Carolina. This video is for you. What we're gonna do, we're gonna break down how to get started in your state, great state of South Carolina. Without further ado, we gotta get into the video. You know what I'm talking about? So all my South Carolina people, what up, though? If you have been thinking about starting your Nemt business, private transportation business in the state of South Carolina, well, this video is for you. We're going to go over a few things to help you get started in the great state of South Carolina. Private transportation. You know, this is what we do. Non-emergency medical transportation. Also, you know, those are two different things, or maybe the same thing, but you get the point. I want you to understand how to get started, how to get your business off the ground, starting your business in South Carolina. And we're going to go over the steps today. Step number one, without, starting anything, without saying anything, you need to know this main one key component. This is what we talk about in all videos. If you're going to start any business, what is the number one thing you should be doing? The number one thing you should be doing in your particular business when getting started is do your research. Do your own research when it pertains to how to get started. What are the requirements? Is there any licensing? Are there any certifications that you need to get? How much is startup costs? Do you have to have a LLC? Do you have to have a sole proprietorship, DBA? What are the requirements that your state requires you to do? Okay, that would be the number one thing. You might want to also know what are the other Nemt or private transportation companies. What are they charging? What type of services do they provide? Do they just provide child transportation, or do they just do pharmacy runs, or do they do dialysis runs, picking up people to go dialysis appointments? Whatever the case may be, just try to get some information, get some intel. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say this is your competition, but this is your competition. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't gonna say that, because nobody's competing with you in your business. You are your own competition. But you get the idea. You want to get some information on what other companies are doing in their business, so you can see what you can offer, what type of base services that you can offer in your business if you want to offer the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? So like I said, number one thing you want to do is you want to make sure you do your research. You want to know is there applications that need to be had, certifications, things of that nature. Second thing that you want to do, you want to obtain your EIN number. You get your EIN number, employer identification number, from the IRS.gov. You can head over to www.irs.gov and get your employer identification number. And guess what? That number is free. You have free 99 right now, so it doesn't cost you anything. So head over to irs.gov to get your EIN number. And this is basically this is for banking purposes and for tax purposes, because we all have to pay taxes in our businesses. You know what I'm talking about? So you gotta head over to irs.gov, get your EIN number. And the next thing that you want to do, is you want to go to Secretary of State in South Carolina and set up your business entity. You want to, whether it's going to be a sole proprietorship, LLC, whether it's an S Corp, C Corp, or partnership. Okay. And once you do that, you want to go to the website. What's the name of the website? We're going to put the website up here, but you have to submit your articles of incorporation when you are filing this particular application for your Nemt business. So know that you're going to have to attach this particular LLC document, articles of incorporation. Next thing you want to do, if you haven't heard of it before, you're going to hear about it now. It's called a National Provider Identifier Number, NPI number. We talk about this a lot on TikTok. We talk about this a lot on YouTube. If you want to work with Medicaid, you want to work with brokers, or if you have to work with a broker, the broker is going to require you to get an NPI number, National Provider Identifier Number. You can get that from cms.gov. This application as well is also free. It takes about 7 to 10 days to come back, but you need to get your NPI number. This is something similar to your EIN number. So if you got an EIN number, this is basically your EIN number for the healthcare industry, because you are a medical or non-medical emergency transportation provider. So you're in the healthcare industry and you're providing a service, and so you have to obtain this number, especially if you want to get that money from Medicaid or get clients for Medicaid, because you have to work with a broker. So head over to cms.gov and get your NPI number. Next, there's something called Passenger Assistant Sensitivity Safety Training. This is imperative because you're going to be working with brokers. It's imperative that you get this training as well. This is a certificate that you're going to have to get. And it's basically a 2-day training. It costs around $750. You can go to www.ctaa.org, and you want to get the Passenger Assistant Sensitivity Safety Training. And this is basically, it gives you information on how to drive in a vehicle if you have the very, we say defensive drivers, some people that, on the road that are driving real aggressive. You need to learn how to, drive your vehicle to combat that. Meaning you know how to, go around that type of situation. It also teaches you how to load and unload, passengers, your clients into your vehicle, how to strap them in the wheelchair, how to properly do anything for your vehicle pertaining to your passenger, your clients. So this particular training is most definitely needed for your business and costs about $750. You can head over to www.ctaa.org to get that particular training and certification. Next, you want to go get you, after we get our EIN number, we got our business set up. Now you want to get, start your business checking account. Everybody needs a business checking account, because guess what? Once you get them $4,000, $5,000 checks, $700 checks, where are we going to put the money? So that money has to be posited somewhere. And for you, you have to get you a business, checking account. You can go to your local credit unions. Some big banks, they offer low minimum deposits, meaning it only has to be like $100 to start that business checking account. So head over and get you a business checking account, so you, as a business owner, can receive your money from Medicaid, brokers, or whoever you're getting your money from. As well as you want to eventually start building business credit. That's another thing that we want to touch on. Building business credit, because when you're in this business and you start scaling up, you're going to more than likely you're going to want to get you some new vehicles, and building business credit is going to be one of the best ways to do that. So get your business checking account. Next, we want to spit off the Class C non-emergency certificate application. So where you go to do that is you go to www.psc.sc.gov. So again, that's www.psc. I'm gonna have it on the screen, so don't worry. psc.sc.gov. And if you have questions about this particular application, there's a phone number that you can call. It's 803-896-5100 pertaining to the application. If you're having trouble filling out the application and get kind of stumbled, well, we're going to go over that I'll put the application on the screen so you know what you're looking at and some of the boxes that you need to check. So the application must be notarized as well. So you can get a notary at the particular establishment, South Carolina. I believe it's, let's see, Office of Regulatory Staff. That's where you probably want to get the thing notarized at. But the application must be notarized. Attach your LLC or articles of incorporation. Then you fax it. You're going to fax this particular information to 803-896-5199. And that's that is the PSC office. It's a PSC office. That's the fax number for the PSC office, and the other fax number is 803-737-0815. That's the staff regulatory office, regulatory staff office. And yeah, this particular application had to be mailed or fax to both of those organizations. Next thing we want to do is applicant will receive a confirmation letter. So once you fill out that information and fax that over, you will receive a confirmation number, right? But the key to this confirmation number is you'll be receiving a docket. Once you get that confirmation letter, you'll receive a docket number on that letter. And when you get that docket number, that's going to allow you to proceed to the next step. So once you receive this particular docket number from your confirmation letter, then you proceed to the next step. And you can also find that docket number on https DMS. That's www.dms.psc.gov/web. Next, after we do all those steps, you want to get compliance process. You contact Transportation Department at the Office of Regulatory at 803-737-0800. But you only move on this particular step, after being approved by the PSC. So you got your your docket number with your confirmation letter. But once you get approved, once you get that final approval, that's when you move on to the next step. Not a second before, not a second after. You have to be approved first before you move on to the next step. So only move on to the next step after being approved by the PSC office. That stands for Public Service Commission. So in South Carolina, you're more familiar with this terminology than I am. So the Public Service Commission, or PSC for short, is where you want to get your approval from. Next, we're going to talk about license decal sticker. Okay, so what I learned in South Carolina, you have to have a license decal sticker. Okay, so license decal sticker is something that you put on the license plate to inform, I guess, other drivers, law enforcement, or medical enforcement, or medical, service. They need to know. I guess you are a private medical transportation provider. So mailing your payment, either cash, money order, check, along with the completed application for license decal form to the ORS Office of Regulatory Staff. As we were talking about before, I'm going to put the regulatory staff on throughout this video so you know exactly what it is if you're not familiar with it. Like I said, I'm in Michigan, and I'm just giving you the information as we did our research on this. So Office of Regulatory Transportation Staff, Transportation Department. The address is 1401 Main Street, Suite 901, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. Next, we get into the good part. Now you have been approved and everything done went through. You're gonna need to pay your application fee. There's an application fee on each state that people want to do non-emergency medical transportation. So that doesn't exclude South Carolina. So in the state of South Carolina, SCDHHS must collect a $599 application fee prior to executing a provider agreement, meaning the agreement between you and the state of South Carolina, you and the broker, you and Medicaid. So application takes about 30 days from the date of receipt. Enrollment status update, there's a phone number if you want to know what's the status of the application. That phone number would be 888-289-0709. You choose option 4 for provider enrollment. And the application again is $599 in the great state of South Carolina. You know what I'm talking about? So this is, maybe you might be all in about $1,000, somewhere around there so far. Vehicle insurance, really important. I got a lot of questions. We have videos. Check out the other videos that we have pertaining to obtaining, vehicle insurance. But you'll love those videos because that gives you a lot of information. But in the state of South Carolina in particular, vehicle insurance. Get your commercial auto liability insurance, also general liability insurance. So commercial auto insurance, general liability insurance. I have a few companies that you can check out as far as, commercial insurance in the state of South Carolina. First one is Assurion, Insurance.com. You'll see it on the screen. Next will be NEMT.com. And after that, it will be American Safeguard Insurance. And then after that would be bankersinsurance.net. And those are the 4 that I found pertaining to those insurance companies that you're going to need. After this, your vehicle needs to be inspected. Vehicle inspection. Vehicles must be inspected by ORS staff prior to issuance of certificate. So with that being said, is you have to take it to an ORS certified person in order for you to get clearance for your vehicles to be on the road. The ORS inspector will contact applicant to schedule an appointment to complete initial inspection report. So you contact them, they'll give you an appointment date to get your vehicle inspected. Last but not least, I have a few key points I want to go over with you before we end this. I just have a few key points. All drivers must wear a professional uniform and photo identification badge. Okay, so in the state of South Carolina, you have to wear a professional uniform and have a badge visible for drivers, patients, anybody to see. Drivers must complete 12 hours of service training annually. So you have to do some type of annual training every year, 12 hours. And then drivers must be able to physically perform actions necessary to assist persons with disabilities, including wheelchair users. Now, this is all for the state of South Carolina. That is how you get started in your particular state. Those are the steps. If you have any questions, but might have missed something you may have thought of, go ahead and drop it in the comments so we can have a dialogue. And love and light. I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, you're most definitely gonna like this one or this one. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until the next one, salute.